Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Media Literacy number 9. And today's lesson is going to be about some of the leading theories and approaches to mass media. There are more theories than what is presented here, but it is important to understand that no one theoretical approach can, can include all of the enormous ways people and mass media interact and perceive mass communication. Now, even though many of the theories may sound like they are bashing the media, let's not forget the countless benefits that media have to offer. Remember to always respect and appreciate the media that are available to us today, especially the ones that give platforms for the Constitution's First Amendment, the freedom of speech. So let's get started. The first theory that media literacy education is mostly concerned with is the protectionist approach to mass media. As the name indicates, the protectionist approach is there to protect media consumers. It is one that addresses and promotes awareness and profound understanding of the powerful media negative sides through education. As namely the National Association for Media Literacy Education put it, one should acquire the skills of accessing, analyzing, evaluating, creating, and acting on media in order to be protected from possible misleading, distorting, monitoring, excluding, and controlling media users. Um, Next theory to mass media is the conflict approach that carries the ideology of dominance. Um, it talks about a small group of rich white males that strongly dominate the media. And according to this theory, these hegemonizing individuals and corporations are the cause for social division among gender, races, and other classes. They're also viewed as gatekeepers that make decisions on what will be presented or eliminated, what is important, what is not. Furthermore, these gigantic media owners are accused of underrepresentation of minorities. And when they do represent minorities, they do it in such a way that it causes stereotyping and generalization. And they are eventually accused of tokenism. Next theory is the functionalist theory. This theory views the media as a contribution to a functioning society. According to this theory, the media have different important functions in people's lives for example, to entertain through watching news, family programs, movies, music programs, etc. Media is also viewed as an instrument of social space like Zoom, like WhatsApp, and other social media. Additional function the media have, according to this theory, is the passing along of the social norms and values, including beliefs, by depicting what is bad or good, right and wrong, accepted, unaccepted, and so forth. Media is also a tool that helps people share common global and domestic events like, for example, presidential inauguration, large sports events, um, Golden Globe Awards, among others. And media also has a commercial function. Television and internet ads are a highly functional and easy way for companies to market their products and gain access to viewers on a larger scale. Function as a life-changing means is also one of them, and the media is also serving and giving unlimited space to different communities who want to connect, like LGBT, women forums, family organizations, singles, social media, and more. Cultivating theory to media is a theory that advises that too much and for too long time spending in front of different forms of media, like TV screen, movie screens, computers, smartphones, and all tools available to us today, can cause people to mix reality with what is portrayed on the screen. People that spend ample amount of time engaging in such habits may adopt unrealistic behaviors that they imitate from movies, from games, even news, and the depiction of violence and sexual abuse, hate, and other disturbing behavior. Knowledge gap hypothesis. This theory was first proposed in a 1970 journal article named Mass Media Flow and Differential Growth in Knowledge. It suggests that knowledge and information of mass media is not equally diffused and accessible to people of different levels of socioeconomic status and education. People of higher education and socioeconomic status receive faster and better access to information and knowledge than people who are marginalized. And as the media gets more advanced and sophisticated, the knowledge gap becomes even bigger. The five key knowledge gap areas that are identified in this theory are communication skills. The higher the level of education, the better reading, writing, and speaking skills one will have. Um, Stored information. In other words, previous knowledge helps associate with new one, and it will be easier and faster to learn. Um, they might also be better socially connected and share more quality information with their acquaintances, where they will be accumulating more knowledge and will be less prone to fake news and misinformation. Also, they're probably more selective in what they want and should know and retain. For example, they are engaged in politics, news, art, culture. And finally, media target market is so saturated and fragmented today that the gap is growing even bigger and more noticeable. The malaise hypothesis says that the way media cover news for the public to watch has a negative impact on society as a whole. It mainly emphasizes the political landscape and the declining of public trust. News is less quality, less fair, less objective, and less informative, but it depicts more sensations, more scandals, and conflicts. And that's what causes more viewers to watch. Who doesn't like sensations? This has a negative impact on democracy foundations, according to this approach, as well as on the knowledge and health of all people, regardless of their race, gender, health, social class, etc. Virtuous circle hypothesis. This theory views mass media as good and beneficial for media consumers. According to this theory, the new media and digital technology give better access to the poor and the marginalized, and therefore allow them a world of information and knowledge. Thus, they have the opportunity to become more educated. That in return helps create a better, more educated society on the whole. This is a cycle that yields positive outcome constantly. The feminist perspective on media is part of the conflict theory, but I thought I should address it separately because it's important. Uh, to me. The feminist theory argues that women's traditional role in society continues to be portrayed and perpetuated in the media. That stereotypical preservation of gender status, according to this theory, is the way of wealthy and influential media owners to keep their status, to hush minorities and women among them, and to financially benefit from that. Keeping women in their typical role reinforces male dominance and inequalities. Many of these theories are criticized for being obsolete and that many things have changed over the years. So, for example, critics of the conflict theory argue that the claim that gatekeepers are controlling what goes on the media and what is eliminated is not valid anymore, since the internet is a forum for anyone to post, to build, to publish just about anything they want on most new digital technology and forms of media of their choice. Also, the feminist theory, according to the critics, is not valid either, since nowadays women are less depicted as housewives with limited interests. So it has been said that there are as many approaches to mass media as there are people. But in general, many of the theory's key points are strongly used in media literacy education. For example, conflict, malaise, knowledge gap, cultivation, the empowerment that we're going to talk about next lesson, and the protectionists are all models, theories used in this field. On that note, we are going to conclude this lesson. Our next and last lesson of this course is going to include the empowerment, as I mentioned, the empowerment theory, and the last skill of media literacy, the skill of taking action. And until then, goodbye, everybody.